Hey guys, Jerry here and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft. Last time when we ended I was getting quite hungry, so I figured I had to go out and find some more squid or something, so I did. I have a bunch of cooked calamari now, but I also found something way more important. And that is this, wheat. I don't believe I found wheat before, and if I did I've planted it outside, but finding wheat is actually really important because it's the only thing in the game that animals will follow. So having wheat now means that I can bring back animals. I also found a bunch of other stuff, oat and rice, which have some equally, not equally, but some quite similar things as well, like you cut them up to make grain. And this grain, of course, while you could eat it in a meal, and it wouldn't do anything, you could also make a quern. I think it's called a quern. Don't quote me on it because I really don't know. Quern, quern, whatever, depending who you are. And this, I'm gonna call it a millstone because that's what it is. It's a stone that mills stuff into flour. So in order to make this thing, you need both some smooth stone, something that's been chiseled before cutting, and you need some quarried stone. So if you take the quarried stone here, and a little stick, you get what's called a handstone. Now the handstone is the thing that actually that you pull on in order to mill stuff. I just need a bit of space here. And then with the smooth stone you can make the base of the quern. So you have the quern base here, and you can put that down. Actually I don't want it there because that's gonna... I want it over there. I believe that for a fireplace to get the hottest it can get, it needs free space around it. So like in the 3x3 area above it. So I try not to place stuff right around it. Anyway, you have the base here, and then you put in the handstone, and bam! You have the actual thing that can mill stuff. So if we take our oat grain here and put in, and then we right click the little hand, it'll go around, cycle through the texture like anything does in Minecraft. It looks a bit funny. But while it's milling you can of course open it, but as you can see I've milled 3 or 4 times now. And if we look inside, we have 4 oat flour. Now this stuff you can bake directly to make... No, actually you can't bake it, you need to mix it with water, I believe. So let us just see if we can reach some water from in here. Oat flour, 2 of them, and you get 2 dough, exactly. Can we reach another bit? Yeah. Alright, oat flour. So, flour, water, makes dough. And you can then cook this dough in a fire or a forge or whatnot, and in the end you will receive lovely bread. Now bread is quite fantastic. Not only is it delicious in real life, it's also really good here. It has a filling value I think equal to a piece of cooked squid, so if you then combine it with the squid and some vegetables you can make a quite nice meal out of it. So if we just wait for this one here, you can see it goes warm, hot, and pretty soon it'll go not red hot, but like dark red hot, and I think that's when it turns into a bread. There we go. And we can then do the next one. And while we do this, we can melt some more. And thus, we have a bakery, or at least a makeshift bakery here. Cooking stuff over a campfire, in the rain, in a house made of wood. That's always fun. It's camping life. But yeah, I'm just doing this here to show you guys the method properly. It's really a lifesaver once you have access to the smooth stone and the quarried stone. That you can then make bread out of your wheat or other oats and actually make use of it. Anyway, I think that's gonna be enough. If I could stop clicking that thing all the time. I can't, apparently. It just wants to keep going. But I guess we can replace... yeah, let's replace the onions in there. Put the raw calamari in there, and then we can make some very filling meals now. So, I'm gonna brave the rain, go outside and start a fire, or a pit kiln actually, because we need a saw mold and we need to make those, that copper anvil that I mentioned earlier. And to do that, of course, we need a pit kiln, and since I no longer have one inside, I'm gonna have to dig one here. So we take all the stuff, we have a saw mold that I had to make again, And ceramic vessel, put that in there, along with the straw as we know. Stack of logs on top. Put dirt back in place, and bam, we're good to go. So that's that. That's going nicely. In the meantime, I believe we need to take a bit of this limestone we have somewhere here, there. Let's take 12 bits and smash up with a hammer. That should give us enough flux to do the melting, or the welding part rather, once it's done out there. And then in the meantime, I kind of want to set up a little pen for some animals. Now one thing that I didn't mention earlier was that you can actually make fences as well. We have a lot of granite. Do we have some quartzite just loosely lying around? Yeah. Stone, like normal wooden fences are made like this. I showed you that. But you can also make stone fences the same way. You just use the stones instead. And these stone fences, of course, as with everything else stone, there is one for each different color of rock. So let's say we want to put a little pig pen back here. It's a nice little pig pen. Now, of course, pigs won't be able to get into it. Neither will we. But we can remedy that by just having a little block here. And then we can push them in. Until I have my saw again, so I can make more planks. You need plank blocks to make the fence gate. So we need 8 planks to make one of those, and I don't have that. Now, while I was out exploring, I saw a little piggy standing over here somewhere. Let's see if I can find that again and lead him back. Lead her back, I think. I didn't see any tusks on it, so I think it was a she-pig. A sow. Now, where are you? Oink oink. Where are you? That's my pig call. And it worked! Look at that. If you can't find your pig, just say oink oink, and immediately it's there. Come on, little piggy. I shall name thee Bethany. Bethany the pig. The sow. Come on, all the way back. Now, all animals in TerraFirmaCraft have genders, and they're visually distinct from each other. So, in the instance of pigs, you have sows, which look like normal Minecraft pigs, and then you have the hogs, which I think they're called hogs. The male pigs, which have like little teeth in front. What's it called? Tusks. That's the one. That's the word. Get on there and push. There we go. Bethany has arrived. Now, in my travels, I have also seen another pig over here. I do believe this is also a female pig. But that leads me to the next thing about animals in TerraFirmaCraft. They also have a unique size. So they have a gender and they have a size, and some pigs are larger than others. And without anything to compare with, I really can't tell whether Bethany is a big or a small pig. Oh, this actually is a male pig. Beautiful, that means we can breed them. So Bethany and Bob. That's Bob. Bethany and Bob, they'll make a beautiful couple. They'll be living in my backyard. And they'll be making lots of little piglets. And when I say lots of little piglets, I actually mean it. Like, they, instead of in normal Minecraft way, just breed the pigs and out pops one small baby-sized pig. Here you actually get a litter of puppies, and of piglets. Pigs make puppies. You heard it here first, guys. Anyway, don't walk into the fire, please. We don't want bacon just yet. Animals also have a gestation period, so as you can see, female, male, Bob and Bethany, and if we give you some wheat and give you some wheat, they should trying to make the babies. And if we then right click on Bethany here, you can see she's female and she's pregnant. Now, a pregnancy takes a couple of months, so it's gonna be a while before we see any of the piglets. But when we do, there will be 8 or 9, 10 of them in there. and they'll be competing for the space. So hopefully before then we have expanded the pen. But for now, Bob and Bethany live in there nicely. They seem to be getting along. My crops are growing as well. Those carrots actually look done, but I believe that I might have killed my hoe, so I'm just gonna quickly make a new one. And of course the hoe is just a little penis that you then attach a stick to. There we go, and if we press M a couple of times, you can see we can swap between different modes. There's the normal hoe mode here, where you just hoe stuff. And then you have various displays. I think this one, I have no idea what it does. Actually, this one is only for metal hoes, I believe, and it shows you the level of nutrients in the ground. So there are each, like the ground in TerraFirmaCraft can have 3 nutrients, and some plants use maybe 2 of them, some only use 1. So that means when you have a big field that you want to continuously use, you will need to do crop rotation so that you don't keep growing crops that use the same nutrients all the time on the same land. This one here shows whether the soil is hydrated, whether it has access to water, and as you can see all of this does, so that's good. And the final one here shows whether stuff is ready to harvest. And as you can see, these carrots here are pretty close from the pure visuals, but they are not quite ready yet. So breaking them would be a bad idea, and that's the main function of this. Checking whether breaking stuff would be a bad idea. So that's the hoe. Now once we get a metal hoe, of course, I'll be able to show the nutrient stuff, but until then, we're gonna have to settle for that. Now, the pit kiln is still going. It's gonna be going for a little while longer, I think. So once that's done, I will return and we can start. Oh! Speak of the devil. Get rid of those, pick up that, and then we hurry inside before the stupid zombie comes. So, we have a lot of copper here in this thing. We can put it into the ceramic molds. And we're basically going to have to leave it to cool in these in order to make the ingots. I do believe we have some extra ceramic molds somewhere. I'm just going to quickly make the saw first. And then we're going to put some of our stuff in the chest. There we go, saw mold. Break that. Put a handle on it and place it on the wall. There we go. And that can go back in there. This stuff can go over there. And ceramic molds, I think they're in here. There's 3 of them, yeah. Alright, start pouring ingots. Now, we want the unshaped copper here to stop saying liquid. Because we can't work with liquid metal. As soon as it stops saying liquid, we have basically metal that's hot enough to work with. It's workable. So that's what we want to reach. And hopefully we will have enough of this cooled down by the time that so we can take them out 2 at a time or so. Get rid of these ink sacks. I really need some more chests around here. Yeah, I really need some more chests. I'll put some stuff in here for now. I kind of wanted to keep this one pure, but necessity calls for a bit of invention here, so that's what we're gonna do. In the meantime, I think we got the rest of this flour mixed or milled. So while we wait for metal to cool down, I guess we can make a bit of dough with that. And yeah, just again, keeping busy, keep making stuff, keep making stuff better for yourself. That's really the key, both to TerraFirmaCraft and to life, I guess. Now, what I'm fearing actually is that we don't have enough molds to pour it all out, so in the end this vessel will just have a bunch of copper solidified on the inside. And there we go, orange 4 stars. Now, once you take out the copper ingot here, it's quite important, as far as I recall, that you don't shift-click it out. If you do end up shift-clicking it, you might end up receiving a cold ingot rather than a hot one. And if you have a cold ingot, you cannot work it. You're gonna have to reheat it somehow, and you can either do that in a fire if you can get the fire hot enough, either by burning coal in it, most likely by burning coal in it, or you can do it with a forge. You can also take the put it back into a clay mold, and then put it in a pit kiln to melt it again. Orange 4 stars. Okay, that one is ready. I'm just gonna pour myself a new one as soon as I can. And then we'll melt, or weld, the first one. So these two, they're both orange, they're hot, so they're workable. And we have a copper double ingot. Now these are medium and large, so we can't put them in... Oh, we can put them in chests now. Interesting. That's good news. Now these, when we make the anvil, they actually don't need to be hot at all. So that's a bit interesting. These two are ready, we can weld those together as well. Pam. And that means we can pour out 2 more of these. Now that one is orange, so that one's gonna end up being cold before any of these. That's unfortunate. I don't know if there's any way to cool stuff, like quicker. Can you... Oh, they're hugging. Look at that, they're hugging each other. I saw her standing there, and she was a zombie. You can't just right-click it on water. Nope. Come on, get out of here. Get out of my house. Alright, as you can see here, this one has cooled down too much for me to actually weld it. It's dark red, 4 stars, and I don't think I can heat it up enough in this fire, because the fire only goes about here. I might actually be able to do it just with a hickory log. I'll try it at least, it's worth the attempt. So let's see if we can heat it up. We still have a couple of these to do. And that one's ready now. That's good. Bring that one out. And put it in there, weld them together while we can. And bam, 3 out of 7. As you can see, the temperature here is actually, rising. It went up to dark red 4 stars now. Bright red. Yeah, I think we can make this work actually, just heating it up in the fireplace here. I don't know exactly how hot we need to get it. But yeah, the hotter we can get it, the better it is. Right, just pour out a bit more of this. This one has started cooling down. Bright red 3 stars, let's try it. Put it in there. We have this one ready. And bam! Yes, success. We did it. This one has solidified. We can no longer put a copper from this. It's too cold in there. But that means we have 4 of these. We can make 2 more. That brings us to 6. We're gonna have to start another pit kiln in order to get the anvil in the end. So that's the next issue. What I'm gonna do is pause the recording, and then I'm gonna make another pit kiln and just get this done. And then we'll be back once I can actually make the anvil. Alright, the pit kiln is done. I made a couple more ceramic molds, and we have the last 300 units of copper in here. So that means we'll have 2 copper for the final ingots, and then we'll have 1 remaining ingot for actually smithing some stuff. However, before we can actually start smithing stuff, we have one issue. And that is, in order to make anything on an anvil, you need a plan. And in order to make a plan, you need a writing desk. A writing desk, I think it's called. People have all sorts of strange names for that, depending on the mod. But let's just go with writing desk. And in order to write anything, you need something to put your ink on. Now we have plenty of ink, we have all this stuff, but we don't have a feather. And a feather is necessary to make the writing desk. And I also believe that you might actually need, maybe, I don't know if you need anything else, but you need a feather definitely. And I have yet to see a single chicken anywhere. So we need to wait for this stuff to cool down, and while we do that, I actually wanted to show you guys something I think we can manage before the sun gets too far down. Basically, before I just pulled the sand out of a chest, and for anyone who's seen my series on High Stakes LP, where we're playing TerraFirmaCraft co-op, sand can be hard to find, or it can be really easy to find. For me, sand was really easy to find because you have all the white stuff you see along the beaches there is sand. Also on the little island there. All the stuff out there, though, is ice. So in the start I mentioned that I thought I was in a temperate / Arctic area, like quite far from the equator, and the ice out there should help to amplify that. I also don't know what all the darkness down there is. It looks mighty interesting. Do I have a spade on me? I do. Could it be peat? It could be peat. Yeah, it is peat. Okay, nice. Now, peat is something that we haven't seen in this series so far, but what it does is it burns. It burns quite well. And it's quite easy to gather compared to logs, at least, because it's just a matter of digging it out of the ground. And normally when you do have an area with peat, you have a lot of it there. Now you can't, you can only burn it in certain places, like the fireplace, the normal campfire is I think the default place to burn it. I don't know if you can burn it in a forge. I don't think so, but at least if we, just to demonstrate here, put it in there and light it up. You can see it works quite well. Also, these are nearly ready now, so that's perfect timing. I have a bunch of rye flour here, just in case I feel like I need to cook something on that now that I lit it up again. So you can just put that in there, and you can see it reaches about the same temperature as the hickory wood. So it's pretty decent. The hickory is a bit warmer, I think. But that's, again, it's minor details. It matters a lot when you're dealing with metals, because you need to be able to heat them up to a specific temperature. And if you don't get it hot enough, then you can't do anything with it. Right, all of these are ready now, so let's grab these, pull them out of that, and weld the last two together. Now the final one I'm just going to store in here. Normally what you do is you can make an ingot pile somewhere, but I think they might have to be cool for that. Anyway, because they don't really... I guess they do fit in chests now as well, with them being medium and small. I couldn't put them in a chest earlier at one point, but whatever. I choose to just store it in there because that's where I'm gonna need it once I can. So if it loses its temperature, then I guess stuff works as intended. Anyway, inventory space. Get rid of that. Got a bunch of bones we can't do anything with. Let's grab all of these. And as you can see, 6 of them have cooled down completely, and 1 of them is still faint red. And then you just take them in here and make the normal anvil recipe just with only these things. And you get a copper anvil, which you can then... I don't mind placing it down because you can always pick it up later. And as you can see, it has the exact same inventory as the or interface as this one. But it has the ability to actually work on copper tools. So you place the copper here, you place the hammer there, the flux there, and then you have the plans over here. So you take a plan, put it there, you take your ingot, put it there, and then these things will light up. But I'm going to demonstrate that once we actually do have a feather, so I can make a plan and actually craft something with it. But for now, we have the anvil, and that's where I'm going to leave you guys. This is a big step toward actually being able to make stuff a bit more easily out of metal. The next step, of course, being having the plants, and then the next step again having the forge, so we don't need the forge and its upgrades, rather, so we don't need to go making pit kilns all the time to melt ores. So yeah, until next time, I'm Jerry, and this has been TerraFirmaCraft, Animal Smithing. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.